We are back again at the New York session in the East Coast, 6:30 a.m. Eastern. To the best, to the best Forex stream here. Oh, we got 53 people. Perfect. The nicest house. Oh no, let's just. Oh, nothing's happening. Share here. Got buys running on GJ, and the only reason I took these buys was because of the fact that the 1 hour candles, if they were closing above this area right here, this resistance, this sort of support was respected. I woke up and price had closed above. So once this candle went down and continued to go up, I took my entry. And now looking on the 30-minute time frame, it does seem like once it breaks the high of the previous 30-minute time frame, it should continue moving bullish. And I think at that point, it would be a good idea to maybe add another position, because at that point, the stop is going to be like, again, like 9 pips, 10 pips, because once it's break the high, you're expecting price to continue moving bullish without coming down to break this low that it's making. So should continue good. Let's see here. Shouldn't be too bad. Once we come up towards 133.050, I'm gonna close partial positions and let some run at this point. Oh, the mic is too loud. Let's see here. No, I think my mic is perfectly fine. So, oh, mic is different, eh? I think these headsets are going bad. Well, let's see what happens here. But the thing is, this is looking like bullish, so that's pretty good. We should continue moving on bullish. The 30-minute broke the high of the previous 30-minute candle, so there's a very high chance it's going to continue moving bullish. Let's take a look here. Yeah, there's something wrong. There's something off with the mic. Yeah, there's something wrong. There's something off with. Yeah. Let's take a look at this chart over here. Maybe thinking about buy stop 133.73. Minute Vic fill would be a good position. Yeah, I think this would be what would be a good situation to place a buy stop. I think a good buy stop is going to be above, like, once price starts breaking up around 133, 050. Because once price starts to break up above 135.050, then you're expecting price to continue up towards 133, 100, 133, 180, those levels that you're looking at. EOGPY, strong bearish move down, price made a low, formed resistance here, 30-minute bearish close for sell to look down. Yeah, this looks good. This looks good for it to continue down. To retest that low. It's 30-minute chart. Was this trade based on a 15-minute? This trade was based on the fact that the 1 hour candle closed bullish, the previous 1 hour candle. So, you know, when I woke up at this time when this candle was forming already, you know, so once this candle was forming, I was like, okay, well, you know, the previous one closed bullish. If I look at the 30-minute, the 30-minute was flipping bullish, so I took an entry, and then it closed bearish. So once this 30-minute candle closed bearish, the next one started forming. Once it started forming bullish, I put my stops at break even, you know, because I said, oh, well, like, you know, there's a chance that the 30-minute candle can continue down and, like, you know, take me out in like a drawdown. So instead of in a drawdown, I just wanted to take, put it at break even to be risk free. So I think risk free was a great idea here. I think it should continue moving since it broke the previous. This candle's high, it broke the previous one's high, so it should continue up more. Let's say here, at least 10 more pips, 10, 11 more pips. See, now we're coming close to the 15-minute candle close, and if a 15-minute candle closes bullish, this is an area where you could add another entry, having a stop right down over here around 132, 930, and then let that run. So, like, you know, adding an entry would be in the anticipation that, okay, now price should continue moving bullish, you know, since it broke the high and 15 minutes also about to close bullish. Do you think USD CAD is a good sell? I think you need to send a chart on USD CAD. Alright, let's take a look at this. This is AUD USD, bullish, clean candle. Hope this plays out for you. Looks good. You know, I guess the 30-minute will give us some more information, but that's what we have here so far. Buy entry at 133.050, anticipation of a bull movement. Yeah, that makes sense too, because you're trying to get out of this. What my bias is basically we're fighting in this area now, and we're counting on 15-minute to close bullish, so the next one can continue moving bullish. You know, because bullish candles, there's a high % chance that they will be preceded with more bullish candles. Can you set up buy stop with magic keys? Yes, you can set that up. All you gotta do is press market pending. Down here, I'm not gonna press it, but you gotta press market pending here, and it's gonna set up your buy stop. GJ buy analysis. Alright, let's take a look here. Break above this gray area. That's perfect. Oh, that's GU. Let's take a look at gold here. Gold is also moving bullish. Ooh, 4 hour had a spike down. Daily It's kind of like this. Yeah, gold is interesting because you have NFP here really soon on Friday, and man, it's gonna get really wonky with NFP. I saw GJ sells and lost. Let's take a look here. Oh yeah, it's pretty tricky. So you sold as the candle was breaking the previous low, and I guess after this 15-minute candle closed bullish, you could have said, okay, you know what, candle's closing against my direction, so I might want to maybe like secure a loss, maybe take 50% off or take risk off. Those things are really important. You know, those things are going to keep your losses really, really low. How do you feel about quarter points using it when GJ? I have no idea what quarter points are. No clue. Getting all my questions before the sheeps are. Yeah, I think that's a smart thing to do. Get all your questions in before the sheeps arrive. So the 15-minute candle is about to close bullish, and I mean, if it closes bullish, there's a very high chance next one is going to respect the previous candle's low and continue moving bullish. Once we come up to 133.032, I'm going to secure my 10 pips and I'm going to leave a runner running at that point. What do you think about GPCHF on 4-hour resistance? I think you need to send a chart. Alright, let's pre-markets. Ooh, pre-markets are up. This means US 30 should be heading bullish somewhat if the pre-markets are up. This is one thing I've been really looking at. You know, I've been looking at the pre-market numbers and then I've been looking at US 30. So let's see here. So far, my backtesting on US 30 hasn't been successful because it seems like it moves. It mostly moves after NYC Open, and that's the time when I'm calling it a day. So I don't think it's going to be suitable for me to trade US 30. The 15-minute just closed here on GPJPY. If you look on the 15-minute, we closed bullish. So for the 30-minute candle to continue bullish, we want this 15-minute candle to continue bullish without breaking the low of the previous 15-minute candle. So if it comes down, I guess it's gonna stop me out at break even. Ooh, here's an interesting idea. Someone's looking for sells. Let's take a look here. Strong bullish momentum. Okay. Put to halt. Sells taken on a 15-minute bearish candle. Sells within the zone. Stop loss closed. Yeah, I think it's risky. Like you'd want. Oh, did that stopped out? You'd want the 30-minute to continue going bearish. No, we're still in. Yeah, you'd want the 30-minute to close bearish. I think for sells, you'd want price to come back below 132.900. Because if it comes back below this resistance, then there's a high chance it's going to continue down to 132, 700, and then once it breaks below 700, it has the high potential to continue down to 132,500 and eventually down to 132,400. Those are my selling targets right there. If it does start to sell. Oh, yesterday on GJ, I think I entered somewhere over here. Yeah, I entered somewhere over here. Not enough momentum. Oh, nice. You guys had sells. You guys had sells in London. Beautiful. It's a 4-hour open momentum. Euro New Zealand. Do you use phone to trade? No, I have my laptop. My laptop there's on the side. I look at my phone to just look at the positions, and then laptop's open, and then I have magic keys running, and I go click, click, click. Do any of you believe the market can collapse soon? What are your views on that? I'm not really sure. I don't pay attention if the market can crash soon. I pay attention what I can get in the moment. That's what I pay attention to. I think it's very important to stay relative to what you're doing right now. You know, presently, what's happening, what can you control, and stuff like that. That's really important because everything else is just noise. You know, market can collapse, flash crash, or things of that sort. GPAD buys above over here, 30-minute chart. No trade zone, sells below this area. I think sells below down over here would be better too, around 1.9300. Or if you can see some bearish candles forming, you could still execute sells coming down. Well, looks like might get stopped out there. Oh, got stopped out. Too bad, so sad. We tried. Oh. So first trade of the day, trade 1 GJ buys. Break even. My assumptions seem to be right most of the time, but I feel like my entries are the reason I'm getting stopped out. Yeah, I think you need to take a look back and see like where could you have entered properly. Yeah, now I have no idea what GJ is up to. No clue at all. It's just in this dirty range. You know, I was expecting the 15-minute to continue bullish so that the 30-minute went up, but now I guess it's just, yeah, it's a waiting game now. This is just ugly now. Have you had any problems with Blackwell markets? No. No, sir. Let's take a look here. Testing.
If you want to make money online this year, you're completely beginner. Do not do this if I can go ahead.
Wrong person.
If you want to make money online this year, you're beginner. Do not do this if I can go ahead.
Wrong person.
If you want to make money online this year,
Is it possible to be faked out? Yes. It's very possible to be faked out. It is extremely possible to get faked out. Oh, your JPY is actually moving down. retesting that low. That was a good chart I saw earlier.
Basically the same setup from GG sales yesterday.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It was kind of like the same one. Man, GJ's in such a tough spot right now.
Yeah, it hasn't break that range. Still ranging from 132.62 to 133.17. Basically, that's ahead of the range.
Yeah, you know, I would really want GJ to break up
Yeah, me too.
because there's a clean moves heading up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any tips on setting stop losses and take profits? Obviously, stop losses are trade invalid, but what about take profit? Most times my trades are 1-to-1, you know, risk reward. The 1-to-1 risk reward. You know what I'm going to do, Kervin? If price starts breaking above the previous candle's high again, I might enter again, leaving my stop below the current 30-minute candle, giving trade a second chance, you know?
Yeah.
But let's see what happens.
There's a lot of traffic to the left, to be honest.
Yes.
I'd like to take buys above 132.25 to 134.
Is
But
it?
we can try.
Yeah, we can try. Is there any video on YouTube that shows how you trade? Well, I guess this is where you are right now. This is the best place to see how we trade. This, yeah, this is the best place to see how we trade. Ooh, Kiwan's here. Kiwan, you can unmute yourself if you want.
Well, thanks. I don't know, man. I feel like GJ might be want to try to go lower, but we're just stuck in that range right now
Yeah, that's true.
because we put in a low on the day and we still didn't even come close to. Well, we kind of retested it somewhat, but
Yeah, so what I was looking at yesterday was I was looking at this 132, 700, 750 to be a really strong daily support. And for the small time frames to continue pushing up. That's what I was looking at because the 4 hour created support from yesterday London all the way through this morning, you know, and now this current 4 hour candle, it's kind of like coming up, but at the same time it may just be making a wick above, you know. So for it to not come down, I guess it needs to respect a support on the smaller time frames around 132, 900. So that's why I'm looking for buys based on the strong daily support. But the small time frames have to support that idea too. Oh, someone sent a Chinese indicator. Oh, it says that we're ranging. Perfect. It says we're ranging. It says your JPY is heading down. If you look at your JPY, it seems like it is heading down. So yeah, it was the Chinese indicator. I think Gigi is acting like this because Japan is still on holiday. Japan being on holiday in the New York session, it doesn't make a difference. You know, because Japan is always on a holiday during New York session because it's closed. So it's about time Gigi starts breaking out. You know, because this is when there's volume in the market, and we need volume for price to break zones, break areas. So just gotta, I guess, just gotta wait here. Let's fix this. Ooh, Santiago sent a chart. I can't check the chart. You have to send the chart in the chat. $133. Yeah, so this support is basically based on the resistance here previously. You know, that's what it's based on. Because if you look at, let's take a look right over here, right? If you look over here, so this is the idea that I had that, okay, we have a resistance here, right? Price did what it did, and then it formed resistance. This candle broke up, and then we kind of formed support for the next candles to continue moving up. But instead of moving up, we had this monster candle that went down. You know, that went down, and then the candle after that, it went back up again, and it closed above 132,900. You know, so I was trying to tell a story to myself that, okay, it closed above that area. So now if I have another 1 hour candle closing above 132,900, then there's a higher chance for the next candles to continue moving up. You know, and I'm going to look for clues to support that idea on the smaller time frames, obviously. You know, so that's why when 30-minute candle was bullish, I was expecting that, okay, it's going to stay bullish above this area, so it makes sense for price to continue moving bullish. But you know, it stopped me out at break even, so now I'm just waiting. I hope that makes sense. Let's take a look here. This is AUD USD price broken support, waiting for 30-minute to close. If 30-minute closes bullish, sales will be confirmed. If 30-minute closes bullish, sales will be confirmed to go retest the low. I think you meant bearish. But we also have to keep in mind this area over here. Yeah, it's something wrong with my mic today. I guess have to spend some money and get a new one.
Oh. And another controller.
Controller? I have two controllers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, two controllers. You know you're doing good in life when you have two controllers.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, instead of one.
30-minute close bearish as a nothing candle.
Yeah, it's just garbage, GJ.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Garbage. Don't like it anymore. I guess if price comes down and breaks below, I'd say, like, let me zoom in here. This support area, 132,700, I might look for sells, but now it's just garbage. There's no trade.
Yeah. That's not a good spot to be trading.
Oh, Euro USD. Someone's looking for sells from up over here. Looks good. Someone had a question about wick fills. So if you see price breaking down, you know, the support, if you see candles closing bearish, if you see candles breaking below the support, then you could say, okay, well, you know, we're breaking below the support. Now it could be an opportunity for price to continue down to fill the wick. That's how wick fills work. So we're kind of waiting here again now for price to create some sort of a support. JJ took a sell on GCAD. Interesting. Stops at break even. Yeah, it looks good. Looks good on the 4 hour. Looks good for it to continue down. Doesn't look good on. Yeah, nice. Don't want to say anything to JJ because JJ's gonna say, "Hey, you! Why are you talking negative?" Sometimes when I'm in a trade, I constantly talk about the opposite trade. In my head, I'm playing scenarios. Okay, how could it go the opposite way? How can this be a bad trade? I constantly play those things in my head. And then once I play those things in my head, then the other side, the other side of me starts saying that no, this trade idea makes sense because of these strong conditions. So if I see a bullish candle forming in this area on the 30-minute on GJ, then it will support my idea of price heading bullish because you only had one candle that closed bullish, right? You only had this one candle that closed bullish, this closed bearish, this broke the high, stopped me out at break even. This is forming right now. So if this closes bullish as well, something like this, if we have a bullish close, man, that would be perfect for the next candle to continue bullish. So that would be the trade for the day. But if it goes down in this range, if it goes back down in this range, then it's going to be very difficult to trade in this range. So then you'd better wait for price to break below this area to take like very good confident sells. So for me, it's a waiting game now. Just gotta sit tight and wait. I also believe GJ is going to be GP CAD is going to be a very good sell once you have a 1 hour candle closing bearish, or also a 30-minute candle closing bearish. I mean, you did have this close, but it closed above this area. Let's measure this range here. This is a 17-18 pip range. Yeah, once this breaks here, then it's going to continue down. So that would be a good trade at that point. Take a look here. GJ sells. Oh, nice. Sells and sells. 4 hour tried to push up and close bearish below 4 hour candles. Price broken previous bearish candle. Price. Oh, so you're looking at it from perspective that this 4 hour should continue bearish now. Yeah, that makes sense. But it's on the small time frames. It might come into this range. So I'm just very cautious based on that. Don't trust it. Plus, you have CAD news coming on later on. So this is GJ 30-minute. Buy above this area here and sells below this area here, and you've marked this as like a no trade zone. That is perfect. That is perfect. No trade zone. Yeah, all my pairs are ranging too. Well, the only pair I trade is ranging. So I guess I'm waiting right now. So this is a no trade zone, goat shit zone. So you gotta stay away. Yesterday was good because yesterday price moved earlier. We had a pretty good move yesterday, and now at the same time today we're ranging right now. So trading is more like a sales job. Sometimes you come on the day, you start the day, and you get really good sales really fast. Some days, you gotta wait, you gotta work harder. And here, working harder means waiting. Waiting means working harder in trading because you're waiting, you're exercising your emotions, your discipline. So that's working hard. So right now, I'm just really exercising my discipline and my emotions and everything like that to have a winning trade today. All right, what's this chart? AUD USD buys closed bullish above the previous buys is bullish. Oh yeah, looks good. Yeah, I think we saw this chart earlier on when the stream started. If a currency pair moves because of news, can we use price levels for that or ignore it? It depends. It depends where those price levels are. Like if you look at gold, right? If you look at gold, you have two price levels. You have one price level down over here at 1690 based on a 4-hour chart, and then you have another one up over here at 1708 based on a 4-hour chart. So let's just remove these lines from here. So when you have really high volatile news events, these are two price levels where price is in between. So this is like a 1800, 180 pip range. That's where price is. What's this? Buy GJ and hold for 150 pips. Well, I'm waiting for GJ to close bullish so I can take a buy. Let's see. GP CAD, sell stops below the 2-wick target next support level. This looks good. Looks good if you're looking for a break of the support. I think this would be a very, very good sell. I think your sell here is going to work out really, really nice. Yeah, I think we're going to have a very excellent day if we get confirmations of bullish candles forming. And the only way to get confirmations of bullish candles forming is when you have bullish candles actually closing. Or if you have the highs being broken. Like let's say if this 15-minute starts breaking the previous 15-minute candle's high, then that will may make the next 15-minute candle also go bullish. So it's very important to wait because this will be a good trade. We could make some money here with this trade. Trying to get to the promised land, Kervin.
Yeah, man. Take me there.
So above 132, 980 or above 133 even could also make sense. So I need to make a correct, informed decision by taking these buys. Because then you're expecting the 4-hour to close. Because if this 4-hour closes above 132,900, which I think it should, I think it will, we will have a wonderful trade. It will be a wonderful day here today then. Then price is going to continue moving bullish because the daily is also at a very, very strong support. See, daily has a very, very strong support. We had a bunch of daily candles rejecting 132,700. 4-hour was ranging since yesterday for about like a day and 8 hours, and then on the small time frames, if we start respecting this area of support, man, Kervin, we're heading bullish.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Also, when we break this range, move is gonna be awesome because it's been consolidating for about a day and a half. So once we break out from this range, man, it's gonna be a beautiful trade.
Exactly. Let's take a look at some charts over here. So this is GJ goat chip. Makes sense? Perfect. Kind of like what I have right now. This is GU. Sell stop 2 pips above the high of the previous candle, clean traffic. So you're looking for sells in GU. If price comes down under 124 breaking the previous 30-minute low, I'll enter a sell position. Makes sense. Makes sense, because then you're looking for a rejection up over here with candles closing bearish and continue down to retest the low and possibly continue down. Yeah, that makes sense. I think we have a lot of intelligent people that come on stream every morning, and that provides a lot of value. This Bari sent a chart on USD CAD. Would you say this is enough for break and retest? I would say yes, but at the same time you have news coming in. You have red folded news coming in on CAD in about an hour and 15 minutes. So you might want to be careful there. Also with the chart goal. So if you think that there's enough volume, if there's enough volume here, price would continue down to this area, 100%. But at the same time, this is 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart was ranging here for a little bit. So this area might cause some issues. I think better buys are going to be above this area because you have this clean candle going up, or better sells are going to be. I think this could be a start of a nice selling position as well, because you're executing based on the fact that the previous 30-minute closed below the rest of the 30-minute candles. So now you're anticipating it to continue moving down. So with that said, I think you have a good idea, but you have to keep in mind there's going to be news as well. Oh, there we go, Kervin. We're about to break above the high of the 15-minute candle. Just needed to go up a little bit.
My buy stop is 133.03.
Oh,
okay, here we go.
Got executed.
Nice.
Yep. I entered.
Very good.
Let's remove this over here. And yeah, this is my entry right here. This is the second trade I'm taking for the day. Let's bring this down here. Perfect. Perfecto. So this is it. We're in it. Why nothing moving where the volume at? Yeah, the volume is coming in pretty soon here. So I'm going to monitor this trade. So two things I look at when I take a trade and when it starts to go in drawdown. If this 15-minute candle closes bearish, but it doesn't break the low of the previous 15-minute candle, I'm going to close 50%. I'm going to take 50% out, because then, maybe the next one might continue going bearish. So let's see what happens here. 30-minute is also bearish, which is nice. So we're going to stay in that trade, and we're going to start looking at some charts over here. So I'm basically anticipating volume to continue this price bullish. That's what I'm anticipating. And volume is going to come with the New York Open. So let's see what happens. Ooh, looks like GP CAD is also turning here. 2 hours till New York Open. Won't change anything in the next 15 minutes. I think um, 40 minutes till New York Open, not 2 hours. In 2 hours, you have the NYC Open. GJ is going down. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, that's why I have my stop loss right there, right? I mean, your stop loss is there because if price starts to go against you, so your stop takes your position out. So it's okay. The idea about trading is stress free. Once you take a position, you should be like, okay, well, now I'm just gonna monitor it, without having any stress. And the only reason you're gonna have no stress by being in trade is by accepting what you're willing to lose. So I already know how much I'm gonna lose. It's my stop loss. Man, you guys need to desensitize yourself from the markets. Take a look here. EST cat flirts with bullish cross. I don't know what that means. Stop following these IG flexors. Oh. Isn't there a strong resistance to break? Yes. So basically, so since the previous 15-minute closed bullish, I'm expecting this 15-minute candle to also close bullish, and that in turn will make the 30-minute close bullish. So in essence, it's an early entry. So if this 30-minute closes bullish, then there's a high chance for the next one to continue moving up. So that's what I'm anticipating over here. But if for some reason this 15-minute close is bearish, I'm taking out 50% of my position. So listen. The only thing I have to say is that if you are copying a trade taken on a live stream, you have to manage risk. Or if you only come to the live streams to copy trades, you have to leave the stream right now because this isn't for you. Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Because people copy trades with high risk because they're like, oh, like they took a trade or Raja took a trade, they can't be wrong. I'm gonna take a high risk trade. I'm gonna put like a lot of risk, and then it hits your stop loss, and you're like, oh man. So it's not about that. It's about you making intelligent, informed decisions. Yeah, everything else is just garbage. Still got 8 minutes left for this 15-minute to close. So I guess we gotta wait 8 minutes now.
I snuck in Euro Pound. It was moving cleaner.
Euro pound.
Our old friend.
You're welcome.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Man, you guys have been silent over there sitting ducks.
Yo, I've just come back from a shower.
Could have said something.
morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, no, I've just come back literally just then. But yeah, same as Euro New Zealand. It's like I moved to them this morning based on the range on gold and GJ. It's kind of like backup pairs. But that's like my long-term trade plans. EG. But yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, this was a nice sell over here.
Yeah, a little cleaner.
Little cleaner. This is like washed up and
It's hella
dried,
clean.
man. So clean.
Yeah.
Look at that, dude.
I was watching it yesterday, but I missed the move overnight.
So
So I just caught 10 pips now.
what's this?
Same sell as EJ. EJ moved nice.
Ooh, Lloyd sent the wrong chart. Yeah, EG is moving down. Why is it moving down? Because of the pound strength?
The euro's weak.
Euro's weak.
Yeah, euro is very, very weak right now.
Oh yeah, your JPY broke further down.
Yeah.
Damn, Daniel. Raja, GJ is sell. Okay, let's take a look at this chart. Oh, okay. Below over there, yeah, that makes sense. So you're looking at sells way down over there, below 132,700. So at this point, I closed 50% off my position. Could you take a look at this chart? Let's take a look here. GJ 1 hour. If 1 hour candle closes above the resistance, it's a safer buy for it to fill the wick. Yes, that is true. My entries are early. They're a little aggressive entries based on experience. So that's where it is right now. Any reason why you didn't wait for the candle to close? Yeah, one reason is that now since, like on the, I don't know, like I just didn't feel comfortable, so I closed 50%. I mean, risk is very personal. It's up to you when you want to do it, when you don't want to do it, so I decided to close 50% while it was down over here. So if it starts to go back up, I can add more later on.
Yeah. I'm still holding. I want to see this 30-minute candle, how the 30-minute candle close.
I think it's valid. I think you're going to get a push up. I think once we break above here, you got your target right here. That's
Yeah,
enough for
exactly.
this morning and coming into this area here.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a quick trade, basically.
Yeah, it's gonna be a quick move.
Quick push.
We might have a push before this hour candle closing, and then the next hour should continue moving up. But you never know. Maybe it's just a fake out and it's gonna come back and close back in range.
Yeah.
Should be a quick move.
I got stopped out in GJ as well. I was at break even and it just closed. So the whipsaws on 5 minute.
Alright, let's take a look at this chart here. This is okay, right chart. Clean traffic, previous resistance, wick to fail, GJ 30 minute. So you're waiting for price to come up above over here to take buys. That makes sense. And you're expecting price to come back up to fill that gap. Yeah, I think since now the 30 minutes about to close in 2 minutes, man, I really think if there's enough momentum, we could continue up towards 133,400. That could happen. That I guess is going to be reserved for later on in the session. Your USD will probably rise. Interesting. I guess it's trending down heavy, so people are thinking it's going to rise. Let's take a look here. Yeah, I think we need some more information. We need some more confirmation to take buys on Euro USD, man. I mean, 4 hours bearish, 1 hour, look on the 1 hour, previous one was bearish. It closed bearish, so it means this 1 hour can continue moving down. For it to continue moving down, you need price to break below these areas. So I think you'll have a buy opportunity above this area. If you're taking buys right now, I mean, it's going to get pretty hard because, it's got this area to break. So the 30-minute candle is about to close in 37 seconds. It's closing bullish, just as we talked about previously. If it closes bullish, that gives a higher probability for the next 30-minute candle to continue bullish. Right? Right. Right, so something like this would be perfect, and that would be the trade for the day.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So,
Beautiful.
so if I tie my hands back right here, would this be a hands-free trade?
And 3.
It's a hands-free trade. Okay, what's this? GU. Let's take a look at GU here. Oh wow, is this a Head and Shoulders? Looks like it is. Just gotta put the shampoo bottle on the chart and you're good to go.
No dandruff there.
Yeah. 1 hour strong support. Looking for sells after this candle broke and retested support. Yeah, makes sense for it to continue down. If you look on the 4 hour, 4 hour will give you some more information. Ooh, we've tapped 133 here in GJ.
Get ready, treasure. Yeah.
Get ready. I mean, if you look at this chart, where was this? If you look at this chart, how does this chart tell you where to take an entry, where to put your stop, where to put your stop loss? I mean, how? It doesn't give you any information. There's no information. There's nothing. It doesn't tell you where you're gonna do stuff. So I mean, it's easy, man. My son is 2 years old. He can draw these lines too. Say, oh yeah, look, a fire hydrant. So I mean, you need some more context to a chart. I mean, if you look at this chart here, this chart has a lot of context. Like if someone was to read this chart, they'll say, okay, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, the guy who labeled all these things here, it makes sense. What he's thinking. But when you have things like these, I mean, it just gets very hard. I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend anyone, but I'm just trying to coach you in the right direction. Does anyone of you have a particular formula can we use to research US30? No, I don't have any formulas. Alright, let's take a look at this chart here. This is GJ 1 hour, multiple rejections at 133, although this hour hasn't closed. Too much consolidation to look for sells at the moment. Okay, someone's looking for sells. Yeah, I think if you're looking for sells, a better idea would be below 132,900, but that's going to be a little risky since it's going to be in this range. But then you'd be expecting price to, like, once you get a close below this area, then you can expect price to continue down based on, like, then this candle can become your destination. You have clean candles here, so that would be a good opportunity. But so far there's no sells. You'll have to wait. Is 132,920. What was the information where you got information about US30? Oh, that was just that was no information. It was just pre-markets. I wrote pre-markets, and this is the first link that came up, and I opened it. Yeah, and then get this. The pre-markets are up. That's it. This didn't help me in making any decisions today. Let's put it that way. I just looked at it just for the sake of it. Like a lot of things I do here on the charts, on the live stream and live, they're very simple things. I don't overthink, because when you start overthinking, you allow different thoughts to come in your head. And those thoughts can really derail you on what you're supposed to do. So I mean, you really got to stop overthinking and things. Like, I mean, so I'm in these buys, right? I'm in these buys, and I know that, okay, the 30-minute candle closed bullish, and the next one now has to respect the previous low and then continue bullish. And I know that for the next 25 minutes, I can't do anything because the candle is still open. I have to wait. So what sometimes is going to happen is, while you're in the trade and the candle is retracing, you're thinking about, oh man, like, look, the 5-minute is coming down, we're making this on 5-minute, or the 15 is doing this. Like 15-minute, the smaller time frames, you only use them to manage your risk. Just how I managed my risk when price came down and closed 50%, I took 50% risk out. And now I'm just waiting for the 30-minute to close, basically. It's just a waiting game at this point. Because now what has happened is that if I had my risk is cut in half. Even if price hits my stop loss, I'm not worried at all because I've taken out stress. Like if I had some anxiety, I've taken 50% out. So I think that's very important, that you really need to manage your risk. What's this? Areas of interest. Coming down here. Oh yeah, this looks good. Momentum is very strong. That's true. I think momentum is very strong over here, and also momentum is very strong on Euro GBP. Raja only has 50% anxiety. Yeah, I have 50% anxiety right now. Oh no, I don't get anxiety. No. Like, don't take it in the wrong context. I don't have any anxiety at all. Trust me, it's perfectly fine. Even if it comes and hits my stops, I'm perfectly okay with it. Like I'm not losing enough. I'm maybe like I'm gonna lose like $500. I mean, it's okay. It's no big deal. So you have to be okay with your risk. Like $500 is not a lot of money in the long run. Just like I heard Warren Buffett say the other day. I thought he said 64 million, but then I guess he said 564 million. He's like, yeah, that's not a lot of money. And I'm like, whoa, what? Oh, someone's got a buy stop up here. That looks good. Nice, it's good. Got a buy stop here. You're anticipating price to continue moving bullish. That's good. Can you give me a personal opinion on why it might be better to trade just one pair rather than step over multiple pairs? I think if you just focus on one pair, you really start to learn things about that one pair. It's very important. For your progress, it's very, very important. Like in the past month, I've won around 22 trades on GJ. I've lost maybe like 6 trades on GJ. So I think that's a very, very good win rate there on one pair. So then I don't have to go to another pair. I know I can win most trades on GJ. I can create an income trading just one pair. So it doesn't make any sense for me to look at some other pairs as well. It's like when you start a business. You start a business to focus on one product, and your aim is to be the best at that product. That's what your aim is. And sometimes you get sales, and sometimes you don't get sales. It's just the part of what it is. So I think me sticking to GJ is an extremely good decision because most times I've had wins on GPJPY, so that's very important. Do you use buy stops while away from trading? No. When I'm away from trading, I don't use any orders at all. I just don't trade. What's this? New Zealand, CHF, rejection. Need to see bearish candle low time frame to decide to go for a sell. Yes, that's true. You need to see some sort of resistance forming on the small time frames for you to take a sell. Why do you even look for other pairs when you don't want to trade them? Why do you even look for other pairs? Yeah, I mean, because I think it gets boring to have just chart on one pair, right? So that's why it's good to toggle between other pairs. Plus, like, you have people here who trade other pairs as well. So I think it's good in that essence. Let's take a look on the 15 minute. See, now the 15 minute is coming down, breaking the low of the previous 15 minute. So at this point, what I'm doing is I'm closing another 15%, 50%. No, actually, I'm closing my entire position at this point. Yeah, so I got out at this point. That was like 6 pips. Trade. This was my second attempt on GJ buys. Didn't work out. What's this? Your AUD had been a great short. Yeah, so even if it pushes now, I mean that's still okay, because once the 15 minute broke the low, then I'm like, okay, if it's breaking the low over here and it hasn't broken the high, then there's a higher chance it's gonna continue down and hit my stop loss, right? So why would I want to lose the entire stop loss when I can close a portion of it before it hits my stop loss, right? I mean that's the way to keep your losses small. So instead of losing $1,000, I lost like $720. Still pretty good. So it's a losing day here for me today. I thought I'm gonna have a very good day today and we're gonna win, but got a loss. Let's take a look at this chart here. This is some seems of it hitting resistance and heading bearish. Yeah. This could make sense. Like once you see the 30-minute candle closing below this area, you could see price moving bearish. This area here. Then you could see price coming down to retest this low here. That's a very high possibility. So let's take a look at the 30-minute. And yeah, that makes sense now. Maybe remove everything And if we look at it from a selling perspective, now I'm not going to take this trade. This is just anticipating, right? If you have a 30-minute candle closing below these previous candles, then you're looking at it from the fact that, okay, maybe now price may come down to retest this low around 132,700, which is 20 pips away, right? So it's not necessary that you have to take this trade. Like, I'm not going to take a sell because I already took buys, and my rules say that I have to wait an hour. So you have to really, really respect your rules. You have to respect your trading plan. Is there a terminology for what you just explained? I want to look more into it. The closing partial sting. There's no terminology. Like, no one talks about it. No one talks about closing partial positions. No one talks about taking. Chris got 2 burgers over there. Look at that. Damn. Chris is balling out of control. Yeah, so there's no terminology. That, like, those are some rules I made myself, as part of my own risk management.
Enjoy, old man.
It's that time of day, man. Starving.
We,
It's hard work, these streams, man.
we can see that you've been
Sorry,
starving.
man. I forgot. I have a mute off as well. Sorry.
Yeah, it should continue down to retest the lows. I mean, if someone's in sells, okay. So one thing is, now sometimes guys say, okay, well, if price is breaking this support and it's trying to head down, would it like react to this area right over here, right? Would it react to this area right over here? And my answer to that is, it will. There's a very high probability it will not react to that area, because if that area was important, this candle coming down or these candles going up, they would have reacted to this bunch of consolidation here as well, but they didn't, right? So that's in the past now. So what we look at in the present. And the present, I mean, man, if I hadn't had taken those buys, I would take these sells once the candle closes. Could you do a mini analysis on USD No, I think you need to send a chart. You need to send a chart so we can take a look at your chart, we can take a look at your analysis and see what's going on. Did you thought about the option for Magic Keys too? Yes, yes. So Magic Keys has the ability to close partials in a drawdown. Yes, it's done automatically. Alright, let's take a look at this chart. Oh, same chart. You need an hour to wait for what? For me to maybe take another trade. That's what I need an hour for. What account size would I need to make $1,000 a month comfortably? Well, it depends on your risk. You can make $1,000 on a $1,000 account. You can make $1,000 on a 5,000, 10,000, 15, 20, 100,000. It depends on your risk. Alright, what's this? Let's take a look at this. This is bearish confirmation, Euro USD, low form, trying to take a sell to continue down. Looks good. Looks good on Euro USD. Let's take a look here real quick. Euro USD. I don't even have Euro USD up here. Yeah, it looks good. I think this low here may cause some issues. You know, that low right there may cause some issues. So you'll have to be mindful of that. I mean, if your stops are up over here, I think you may want to secure a losing position somewhere over here. You know, in case it starts to go up. But it's good so far. Raja, please look at this. Okay. Let's take a look at this. This is already. Do you give me advice about managing this? Yeah, I think if you're looking at the 15-minute chart, you could possibly bring your stops at break even. Maybe if you want to secure positions, you can secure positions over here, right? I mean, that would make sense. Secure positions. If you think price is going to come down to your entry point, you should possibly think about securing some positions. I mean, that's what I would do. You shouldn't really enter a trade if you don't know how you're going to manage it. That's very important. Stuff. See here. What do you think about Heiken-Ashi? I have no idea what Heiken-Ashi does or what it is or who made it. No idea. Yeah, I think when people come on the live streams, this is a very accurate depiction of how you should be behaving in the markets. Slow and steady, not looking at the 5 minute or having anxiety, nothing like that. Waiting for candles to close. If the trade goes against you, it's fine. Trade goes with you, that's fine. Managing risk, conserving capital, things are very important. It's a very hard day here because there's nothing happening so far.
Yeah, a lot of patience required, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like back into that range that has been ranging for the past 7 days.
Yeah, it's that 4-hour range from the other week on GJ. Just sticking it right now. That's why I moved to Euro pairs this morning, really.
God.
Something's about to happen. Like when when GJ ranges like this, it's something's gonna happen.
Well, we've got big news Thursday, right? So this Thursday's gonna be a real big day for the pound.
Yeah,
So that whether or not has something to do with it, maybe.
true.
Yeah, interest rates.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you've been more aggressive with your entries lately? No, I don't think so. I think today it was a little aggressive. I was anticipating more than I should have, but other than that, I think it's been fine.
Well, we had that big move Friday, and then we just came all the way back down.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of came all the way down. Hey Raja, do you like US oil? No. No. What's your maximum trades on a day? I think two trades. Two trades. Two and maybe three trades. Maybe three trades. Yesterday I took three trades. Today I'm just gonna cap it up at. I'm really thinking of capping up at two trades. Yeah, I'm gonna cap it up at two trades. It's almost New York Open here as well, so I got like another 30 minutes window to. If something formulates, I'm gonna execute in the next 30 minutes. But if it doesn't, then so be it. That's my trading day today. Ending the trading day in a loss at that point, so I mean that's okay. What makes you choose a no trade zone? Because it's sort of in a range right now.
He wants to continue going downtown.
Did you look at US30 today?
No,
No.
no, I stopped looking at it because I've seen that it mostly moves after NYC Open.
I see. Okay.
So that's the time when I'm usually calling it a day, so it doesn't suit my plan.
Yeah, that's what we were saying yesterday. You can kind of get an idea when the best moves are.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't fit your time, then it's not one to do, right?
Yeah. How do you wake up so early? What time? Yeah, I sleep at like 12 and I'm up at like 5 a.m., 5:30. So I'm like, waking up is no problem because I really enjoy what I do, like I really look forward to the next day. So like waking up is no price. It's like when you have to take a really important trip and you're really excited, no matter how late it is, you still wake up on time. That's kind of like that here for me every day. Because coming to the YouTube chat every day, it's a trip.
Same as that. Definitely opens your eyes in the morning.
What are you going to expect today from the
You
public?
never know.
Yeah.
There's always one or two interesting questions, right?
I wake up and I go into a nightmare.
Walking into a night.
A
How's it
dark
ended?
alley that I don't want to be in.
So, man, I've got 3 hours of this left.
Wake up and go right in.
Like literally, if you wanna learn about patience, just come on the YouTube chat and just try and sit here without clicking like response. Like literally, I went for 20 minutes and then I was like, they win. I can't compete with this level. So I just stopped responding. It's just no point. I can't compete with that. I mean, my fingers are like bleeding.
Jesus Christ.
I just feel bad because I would never want to trade if I was in the YouTube chat and I was 90% of the people in there. I would just quit. I wouldn't want to trade. It's just the level of just common sense that is lacking. It's not good for trading. Like, and I want to tell people that, and then they get insulted and they get mad. But you can't function at this level and be successful if you can't do basic things. And it's the truth. Like I don't know how to explain it to people, and then they get mad because I'm insulting them. But I would rather have someone tell me not to jump than to go jump and be like, oh, I didn't realize you're going to break your ankle when you fell. I saw it on TV. Like it just doesn't make any sense. Like just it's
sadly though, that's the problem. And then in 6 months' time, then people realise that.
Yeah, like I
people
mean,
paying attention.
if someone's telling me right now that I shouldn't be doing this, I would take a quick step back and be like, why is he telling me this? Like, what does he know that I don't? And it's like I can just tell by the question. Like, just how do you send a chart? The first thing you would do would be look at the description of the YouTube channel. Like that's the first thing. And if you can't even do that, how do you expect to navigate things that are unknown or that that are going to move against you or react? Like how do you expect to do that when you consciously can't get simple information to you? That's what I fear with people, and it's a genuine fear because I know how hard the market is, and now you're going to be doing something ridiculously crazy, and it's because you are now like this is you think that you're going to learn how to trade that way. You're not. It's going to be very scary for you. I feel really bad, and I don't want people to lose. I don't want people to have a bad experience trading. I just think that it's
That's the
something
thing, right? If it's calculated, it isn't a bad experience if you take it serious.
Yeah,
it's not. But it quite easily can be if you're not.
Yeah, I just really think a lot of people need to take a step back and just.
Is it really for me? Yeah.
Reevaluate. Like I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like if you if you're not in that mindset of thinking critically or learning, like that's okay. But I mean, don't. You're putting yourself in a disadvantage, especially when it comes to money. Like this isn't like you going to play baseball and just dropping the ball in the field and people laughing. This is like your own money being tossed away, and you think that you're going to make money on this, and I just wouldn't want to be in that situation. That's all. I mean, it's not an insult to anybody. It's just really, really evaluate. Like if you can't Google properly, you can't like go and do some research on the other on the channel with other videos. Like if you can't look around and answer some of the questions on your own, I think you need to evaluate if you should really be trading. And maybe you're not trading right now. Maybe take a few months off and study, and then come back. And maybe this is your kick in the butt that you need. They realize like life is hard, and this is the hardest thing that you're probably going to do. So it's better not to sit here and be, I guess, secure in what you think you're doing, but maybe be very scared. And the more scared you are, the more cautious you'll be, and the more work you'll put in before you even come here and ask, those small questions. And I think it's really important that you take a step back, and you should be deathly afraid of FX. Be as afraid as you can, because that'll give you the most opportunity to learn and get as much information as you can, and then come back. Just do yourself a favor, because you're going to lose thousands and thousands of dollars. That's how it's going to be. And I think, if I can save people from losing thousands of dollars, that's it's better than people trying to fool themselves into thinking that, I was an idiot in high school or an idiot in university, idiot at my job, and now suddenly I'm going to be successful in FX. That's not going to happen. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck.
Yeah,
Like
right.
you're not going to suddenly be super smart at FX because you were dumb in school. It's not going to happen. I'm just giving you the truth. So if you really want this, there's a lot of things you're going to have to change with how you approach learning, how you approach doing work on your own. There's a lot of things that you're going to have to fix. Um, it's very, very important. So I mean, once you get that, then you're good to go. You can do whatever you want, but don't fall for the hype. Let's put it that way.
Ooh, GP Cat is breaking there. Some people are in GP Cat cells.
That's got some downside, that has.
Can I know your opinion on this chart? Thanks. Right, let's take a look. Euro JPY, strong support, break and put TP, expecting for short position after breakdown 1 hour Euro, so weak JPS trend today. Yeah, I think at this point you'll really need to see. I mean, if you're taking a sell now, I think your stop loss is going to be at like 116. Yeah, 116. And then TP, you have to decide where you're going to put your TP. Like, like when you're going to secure positions at what hit point. Because if you look on the 4 hour, and if you do break below that major support, there's nothing there to the left hand side. Yeah, like you'll have to secure positions. Like you'll have to let some run, after securing some pips. So that's what I would do. So what I would do is I would maybe like secure 10, 12 pips and then let the rest run with stops at break even. And it looks like GP CAD finally went down. Nice. I know some people were in a GP CAD cells. Beautiful.
Yeah, that could go quite a long way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got quite a long way up to like 1 point. What's this? I'd say safe 1.74400. 25 more pips, 20 more pips. Then when would you have gotten on GP CAD? So since this move was missed, I think a better position to get in USD CAD or GP CAD would have been around, I'd say, when the 30-minute here broke the previous 30-minute candle. Because if you look on the daily had a wick to fill, so then you were counting on the fact that, okay, that might get filled. So once it broke the low, then you would have taken the trade based off of that, okay, we might continue moving bearish. We did a little breakdown on this as well in the start. I have an amazing amount of respect for you. Sometimes I wonder why you hear your respect with you. How do you break the low morale after a losing streak 2 to 3 days in a row? Well, you have to really decide how could you have taken, like, man, the amount of times I say this is unbelievable. It's seriously unbelievable and no one listens to me. And I'm going to say this again, just look to see how could you have taken a better trade, or if you would have waited, or post a chart, or like look at the chart again and say that, okay, maybe I could have done this, or maybe I could have done that. And then you take that information onto the next trade. And like no one does that. I mean, since if you don't do that, you're not gonna learn anything. Because when you take a loss, I took this loss. I took this loss, but then I took an educated loss. Price came down, I closed partials, and then I kept my losses small. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. But it looked good. But then again, I say, okay, well, like it was still at resistance, so maybe the next time I'm going to go in with a lower risk. So I learned something from it. So that's what you got to do. Like most people take a losing trade. Like let's say if someone took a loss here, right? Let's say if someone is in a your JPY sell, and like this price goes up and hits their stop loss, they're like, oh man, I took a loss. So normally what's gonna happen is you're just gonna be like, hey man, like fuck this. Like I'm losing for so long now. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna like complain, and because I'm just having a losing streak. No, that's not how you do it. The way to do it, you're like, okay, well, I had the wrong idea. Why did I have the wrong idea? All right, let's take a look left. You look left, you're like, okay, well, this candle came down to support. Then okay, well, makes sense. It was that support. Maybe what I could have done is I could have waited for price to come up, create a resistance, and then take a sell. So that's what you look at. You look, okay, maybe I could have done that. So like as long as you don't do that, you're never gonna go anywhere. And I know I said this again, and I'm gonna say it 1,000 times later on down the road. Just take a look at why you took a loss and try to see how you've taken the opposite trade. If you enter once GPCAD breaks the low of the candle, you talked about where you would looking to close 50% if price goes against you. I don't understand. I don't understand that question. Oh, yeah. So if this 30-minute went down and if the next 15-minute closed bullish here, then I would close 50%. That makes sense. Let's take a look here at USD CAD. So Barry was looking for a buying opportunity, and there was a support over here, right? There was a support over here. So since the candles were bearish, there was no buying opportunity on the 1 hour time frame. So I think that's something that would have made sense. Let's take a look here. So this was the chart you sent here, right? Oh no, oh you had to sell. What happened here? Let's take a look. It could have played out. I mean, you had to sell over here on USD CAD and price went down. So I don't know. Oh, I did. Yeah, man, you talked as if you took a loss. All right. What's this? With the GPCAD sell-stop idea sent in earlier, if it hadn't had triggered by the 5 minutes prior to CAD news, would you still leave the sell-stop on? Yeah, so I'd be very careful. If I had the sell-stop on GPCAD down over here, then I'd be very careful that if it would activate or not with the news, because with news things get really tricky. Should I wait for candle to close above this level? NAS 30. Yeah, I think since price is ranging up, since price is trending up, what you want to do is you want to wait for price to make a top You know, once price makes a top, it's going to come down, it's going to create like a support, and then it's going to continue moving up. You know, that's what you got to do. So either like if you're looking for sells, you're probably looking for a resistance to be formed for price to continue down. If you're looking for buys, then you're waiting for price to create a support and then go up, because that's what Warren Buffett says, right? Buy low and sell high. Smart money. What's this? Wicks don't lie. Take a trade now. No, I can't take a trade because there's no trade to take right now. Let's take a look at this chart here. Oh, wrong chart. Oh, yay! Don't have to look at the chart. Man, I still believe GJ. I mean, if this 4 hour closes bullish, GJ is. I mean, it should continue moving bullish. But let's see what happens here. I'm taking macroeconomics and microeconomics in university. Oh, very nice. Good. Let's take a look at this chart. This is, ooh, gold buys as dirty. Oh, gold sells at this point. Yeah, it's gonna get pretty tricky, man. It's gonna get very tricky. Look at this GJ. I think once it breaks below 132.850, you could have a nice move coming down. Yeah, I think that's a possibility. Once it starts breaking below 132.850. What's this? See GJ dropping if the 30-minute candle flips. Yeah, I'm looking at the same thing here too. You know, but I have no high hopes. That's what it is. I have no high hopes now so far. It's been almost 45 minutes since I took my last trade, so I'm kind of in a. This is the thing, you know, when you take a loss, it's really important for you to just disassociate yourself from the charts, right? Just like move away mentally, just move away from the charts. Don't think about it, because I mean, when you're making decisions around money, they're very emotional decisions. You know, whenever you make decisions around money, it's very important you like take a step back. You know, you take a little break. You don't think about the charts. You don't think about the positions or the loss or the money like you wanted to gain from the trade, because after a while, what's going to happen is your emotions are going to die down. You know, like when you break up with somebody and they start crying and you let them cry. You know, you let them cry. You let their emotions die down, and once it's all done, then you talk in a civil manner. It's the thing right over here. You know, once you take a loss, you just relax, let emotions die down, and then you look at it from a very rational perspective. So now, when we're looking at it from a rational perspective, it just makes sense. If we break this low, there's a high chance price may continue down to 132.740. You know, it just logically makes sense in this case. If you are a billionaire, tell me where GJ is going. Oh, I guess maybe someday, you know. Someday, if I become a billionaire, Chris.
Yeah, yeah, man.
That's
You're
a
not
lot.
billionaire already.
That's a lot of money, billion, man. That's $1,000 million.
I don't know where people get these ideas that they're going to become billionaires.
I'm going to blame social media.
I always laugh when people talk about being a billionaire or I'm going to make millions. I don't know where that attitude comes from, and I guess I understand that people talk about like, oh, you should be positive, but I mean, also be realistic. I mean, if you look at the world's richest people, yeah, you can place an argument, and this is what I always love. I always love these arguments that, oh, all these rich people, they're high school dropouts, and they did this and they did that, and I always laugh because the world has 7 billion people in it, and you're comparing yourself to like maybe 20.
I was just gonna
That's
say,
like
yeah.
that's like 0.0000001%, and you really think that you're going to fit in that 0.0001%, and it's just it's remarkable. And don't get me wrong, I think that it's great to have dreams and visions, but man, that's like me saying I'm going to win the lottery because I'm going to be that 1 in 700 million chance, and I just feel it.
This weekend.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
I don't know where that attitude comes from. Like, just do the math. Like, everything in life is mathematically based. If you're good at math, exponentially you will be good in life, because you'll start to understand that probability dictates a lot of things. Like, even though there's a red light, there's a small remote probability that someone may run the red light, so you don't launch off the start when it turns green. Like, it's just mathematically known. So if you live your life with math, um, you'll understand that, and you'll realize probability. And the idea is, put yourself in the best place to win. Yeah, if you want to be a billionaire, that's great, but don't think dropping out of school will give you that better opportunity to be a billionaire, if that makes sense. Um, and you just put yourself in the best place. Like, get yourself the best education, surround yourself with people that you want to emulate, things of that nature. Network a lot, do all those things, and you'll realize that it's a lot of effort and a lot of work that you're going to put in to actually become successful, or become a millionaire, or become whatever you're doing. um, and I think a lot of people just have to be realistic with their approach. You're not going to become a billionaire, with no education. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to become a billionaire sitting on, like an e-commerce site or FX. Like, it's just not going to happen. People aren't. You're not going to do that. And I know everyone sits here, and I can see the chat going nuts that everyone thinks I'm wrong, but I just go with the law of averages and statistics. It's Sorry, stats don't lie. I mean, we look at coronavirus. They were supposed to say millions of people are going to die. Like, we've had what, like, I don't know, like a few 100,000 people die. They said this was going to destroy the world. It hasn't destroyed the world. Like, we're recovering. Things are happening. It's numbers don't lie, and I think if we focus on the numbers, you can now have a better outlook on what's possible to achieve. It doesn't mean that you can't achieve more. It just means have a realistic outlook, and you won't be disappointed or discouraged by the work ethic that you're putting in. There's no doubt in my mind that if you put in the work, you'll be successful, and you can make your millions and do whatever you're doing. But don't just think it's going to fall in your lap.
Yeah, but you got to start somewhere, right? So that might just be a normal income.
Yeah.
It's a process, man. It's going to take a long time to get to anywhere near that level.
Yeah.
Unless you're starting off in a big level already. But
yeah, it's just, I mean, as time goes on, you're going to realize the world is a cold place. You're not going to get what you want. It's going to be highly unfair. Maybe you're going to develop a product and someone steals it and rips you off, and they take all your stuff. You're in a job, you're not going to get promoted, so you're going to do the same thing over and over again. But it pays the paycheck, it pays your bills. Your friends are going to run away from you. You're going to have to make new friends. Your girlfriend's going to dump you. You're going to have to get a new girlfriend. Things like that. Like, you just got to get used to.
And they call that life.
Yeah, it's just get used to the law of numbers. There's no doubt that you'll be successful, but you're not going to be a billionaire. Let's put it that way. You're not going to be a billionaire. I just don't do that, because what'll happen is a lot of people don't have the mental capacity to understand that they're not going to be successful, so that they can be successful. If you get what I mean, you put yourself in such a high pedestal that you think that you're going to be successful, and then when it doesn't happen, you get super depressed and you get super upset with life because you didn't get what you thought you deserved. And that's the biggest struggle that youth have today, is they assume that they're better than they think they are, or better than everyone thinks they are, and they're not. And the sooner you realize you're just an average person, but you have above average ability to become above average, the better off you're going to be. So in other words, don't run to the basketball court and think that you're going to start shooting 3-pointers and tell everybody how great you're going to be and then be disappointed when you get picked last. Go work at your craft, then come and let people tell you how good you are. Like, do the opposite. Don't tell people how good you are. Let other people tell you how good you are. And I think you'll have a better understanding of life, and you'll be more humble, because at least then you'll constantly be working and you'll constantly be putting the effort in, and you won't realize your success until 1,000 people tell you, hey, you're really successful. And I think if you can keep that, you'll always have a drive, but more importantly, you'll always be at the top of your game. Instead of trying to tell everybody how successful you're going to be or what you're going to do, don't ever take that approach. Do the opposite. Focus on just working. Get to the point where you walk into the room and people say, wow, that's a successful guy. Don't walk into the room and say, hey guys, I'm successful. It doesn't make any sense. You're not doing yourself a service, because what you're doing is you're sitting back and you are basically projecting or putting that idea in people's heads, which is not true. Let people put that idea in their own heads. And that's what you should try and do. And be in that position. But I mean, everyone's going to disagree with me. I mean, that's cool. Like that doesn't bother me. I know the numbers. I know the numbers, and I mean, it's just, that's what I go on, is numbers. Numbers to me tell the truth.
They're not wrong, mate. That's the thing.
But if you aim higher, you land higher. Thoughts on gold? Gold is ranging right here. Yeah, gold is at a support.
Forget about gold. Just
Yeah,
look
man.
at those wicks, both sides.
Gold's a real mess.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Still going hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're not looking at US 30 anymore, right?
No. No, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because it normally moves after I'm done, so I'm not going to change my mindset, like my trading plan based on some stupid pair.
I mean, sometimes you're gonna get nice setups, like this morning. The setup on the 15 minute was beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
But man, it's gonna be maybe 50-50, and the stop loss is gonna be more than 40 pips. So.
Yeah, that's the problem. GP CAD, probably if it's going to continue down, it basically made a low below support. So it needs to create like a resistance here to continue down. That's something good to look on GPCAD. Whoever missed the initial move down. When I have a winning day, I win small or according to my plan, but when I have a lose, I lose big because I start chasing losses is still a problem. Yeah, so you just need to stop chasing losses. So I had a loss and I didn't chase a trade. I'm just like, hey, well, I'm just gonna wait. You know? Like just do what you do when you win a trade. When people win a trade, they secure that win, they call it a day, they're like, okay, perfect. When you lose a trade, you don't you add on to that loss, and that's a very destructive way to trade, when you don't follow the same rules as you do when you win in trade opposed to when you lose a trade. It's the same concept. The concept is not about winning or losing. The concept is about taking a trade and what are you doing after you take that trade. If you take a win, what do? Like, if you do you call it a day, you sit around, or do you just say, okay, well, perfect, I got a win. When you take a loss, you got to do the same thing. Just if you take a loss, you're like, okay, perfect, I took a trade. The trade ended how I expected it to end. So, a trade, like when you have a stop loss, in some aspects, you're anticipating stop loss to get hit as well, because like that's why you have a stop loss, because that's a part of the plan of the trade you're taking. If you have stop loss, if you have a take profit, that's also the part of the plan of the trade you're taking. So you have to be really okay with both, because as soon as you start getting emotional, it just starts going bad, going super super bad. I know some people took sells here on GJ, and I talked about wait for this low to break, because it just makes logical sense for this low to break, price go down, but now it keeps coming back up. So it's still goat shit, man. So hard. What's this? Do you study the news in much relation to your trades? No, not at all. Not at all. Um, yeah, so the news just happened on, and there was nothing really happened on the news. What's this? Any tips to get enough pips out of a trade when waiting on a candle close? Now in GJ, candle could close below 132.850. Okay. But with spread, there's not many pips to get to 740. 850 down to 740, that's like 10, 12 pips. Yeah. So that's about it. Then you're like, okay, well, if there's not enough pips to get in this range, then you're like, okay, perfect. I might not want to take a trade in this range. I might want to take a trade once price breaks below this support. Because if price breaks below this support, now you have this bigger range, like 18, 20 pip range, and then you have an even bigger target if it starts to continue down. So that's how you decide how to do it. Why does MT4 sometimes not allow stop losses less than 10 pips? That's probably your brokerage. Alright. It's going down to break slow here. It's been a pretty slow day here. Can I have another look at my AUD USD chart? Yes, send a chart and we'll take a look at it. Why focus on GJ? Because that's the only pair I trade now. You know, it's very. I think once you focus on just one pair, you start to learn about the way it moves and behaves in all sessions. You know, so then it becomes much more easier. So that's the reason I trade on GJ. I think I know GJ the most out of every other pair. So yeah, so I mean that's why I focus on GG. I mean, it also makes sense, you know, because like if you're focusing on let's say two or three pairs and you're expecting price to move on one pair, then you might miss a move you were anticipating on your main pair, you know, and then you look back and say, oh man, I was waiting for this move and I missed it, you know, so that's a very horrible feeling. So why not just focus on one pair and just try to like beat it every day. You know, every day just like beat it. You know, sometimes it's going to beat you back, but that's okay because you know most times you're going to beat it. So like today, GJ beat me and I lost. You know, I lost a trade here. So you know, it's part of what happens here. Was it a specific reason you choose the pair? Oh man. Okay. How much did you lose today? It's irrelevant. That is irrelevant to your success. I lost like $1,494. Yeah, so far for the month, I'm up 673. Not bad, not bad. Still got the whole month left.
$6.73. That's not bad, dude.
673.
Oh,
$6. Come on, man.
dollars, man.
$6.
You're still green on the month. That's what matters.
Yeah, man, I'll take it. I'll take $6. That's good.
There was a one day in April I made $12. And I was like, yes,
How much trades
positive.
did you make that day?
Yeah.
Did you make a lot of trades that day?
No. I actually got a winning trade in Asian session. I got a really good winning trade in Asian session. Came to New York, got a loss in New York, and then
Yep.
took another trade in New York, and then got a loss, and then I was up $12. So I was like, okay, perfect. I'm gonna call it a day over here.
Yeah, man, definite.
Yeah. Then bought some Nutrilite.
That's the day that we were telling you to risk the 12, right?
Yeah.
I remember.
And break
Yeah.
even.
Exactly.
Hey, Roger, someone asked you a question in the Q&A.
Take a look here. You mentioned smoking a blunt to celebrate a milestone. What was that? That's a very personal thing I won't discuss. Maybe I'm gonna make a post about it, just to put things in perspective for a lot of people. Ooh, GP CAD. See, like no retest here to continue down. Nothing. It broke the high of the previous 30-minute candle. This means there's a higher chance it's going to continue moving bullish. GJ, bro, look at this. GJ 4 hour. All right, let's just remove everything. Let's do some fresh analysis. GJ 4 hour created support, respected support. It created resistance, and now this 4 hour is closing above resistance. Now, just by looking at this, the bias is bullish because it's closing above this resistance. And I mean, it just makes sense for it to go bullish. It's just trapped. It's trapped over here so far. Yeah, this is the trap here.
All those wicks, man, can't get out of it.
Yeah, I can't.
Sorry, I was going to say it's also coming from like a weekly. You could kind of call it a weekly support. And we're now starting to try and break up, maybe.
Yeah.
You got to remember, it's really early in the month yet, still, right?
That is true, Monty.
Very,
true.
very early. We haven't exceeded last week's low or anything yet.
Market still didn't get any direction for the new month yet.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm gonna rest it for the last 15 minutes of this hour. I still believe in Raja.
Oh, we're breaking up over here.
Take me to promised land, Raja. Let's go.
Broke the high on the 30-minute and the 1 hour and 15-minute
And then-
also.
Yeah, continue. Go ahead.
The only thing is the stop.
Yeah, stop loss must be 15 pips.
But then you're looking at a potential reward up to like 133, 200.
Would you consider it off a 5? Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, would you consider a stop off at 5 minute maybe? For a
Indeed.
smaller target. If you broke out, maybe.
Risky.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm not keen on it.
I don't want to be greedy, but my take profit should be near to 133, 500.
Okay.
Oh, if you're taking that level, that's different. Yeah, that's sensible.
This should work. This is enough. And like I said, I'm expecting the next 15 minutes to break above this resistance. Because I like the 15 minute, the previous 15 minute. That liquidity grab to the downside failed to break the 30-minute bullish. And now we're breaking above the previous bullish candle.
You know, Kerbin, I might enter once this 15-minute breaks the high of the previous one.
Yes. That's the safest play you can get.
Yeah.
That would give you a good start.
133.05, somewhere there.
Yeah, 05, 04.
Yeah, I agree.
Why did you choose 500 going? Is that just because of that gap as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think once you get to there, realistically, you could, if you got that far, I mean, you could really be looking at low 134. But there's a little bit of like 680. Not be a problem.
Wow, people are still holding the buys from early. Damn. Man, you got balls.
Cowboys everywhere.
Cowboys everywhere.
Some stop loss.
Ooh, AUD USD. Oh, very nice. We've been following this trade since morning. You made it.
Yeah, that's good work.
There's a lot of volume trapped in this area. This range is heavy range. Like I said before, it's 1.5 days already. So once we get this push, it doesn't matter where. Downside, upside, it's gonna be a heavy move.
Yeah, it's gonna go right.
Yeah. So keep that in mind.
And when it did it last time on the 4 it was 33.5, 33.3 would be sensible. Last time it kind of broke out this level when it was in that 4 hour range a couple of weeks back. Did the same thing, apart from that big move we just had.
Yeah, so let's take a look at this chart over here. Oh. GBP NZD. Wow, this thing is ranging.
Yeah.
Support forming here. You have a resistance tapping into these wicks up over here. Let's look at the 4 hour. Previous 4 hour was bullish. This one is bearish. Daily is like in the middle. Daily hasn't closed yet realistically. If we break below this support, yeah, it's gonna get pretty tricky because you got all that consolidation to the left right here. So I think a better trade is going to be maybe looking for buys above this area because you got clean traffic here to the left to continue going up. And this is even though this is going to be like a nicer range here too, 24 pips. But if we come back below in this zone and you do get confirmations for candles to continue down, the only thing is there's a lot of like, you know, wicks over here and like there's a lot of traffic here. So I wouldn't necessarily, so if I had to choose, I would choose the buys because there's clean traffic. The clean traffic means there's a clean candle here, right? There's a clean area. Sells, I wouldn't go for sells because it's pretty dirty. I mean, I don't like it. So it's up to you if you want to take the risk or not. But I think better sells are going to be below this your major support here. Because if we now look at it on the 4 hour, then you'll have a better range to continue down. You see how these have clean candles going down all the way to right over here. Pretty long price numbers. How much is this range? Yeah, 50 pips. Yeah, it's going to be a better sell. Bam, bam, bam.
TJ back in the range.
Yeah, man.
Whatever side it break out to, at least we're gonna get a big move.
Mm-hmm. Stay above this area, so all the body of those candles. I would like to see a bullish 15-minute closing above this. So the next hour it's gonna do something like this. But for that, I need to price the state above 132.90.
Nah, I'm done with GJ.
Mm-hmm.
That's no fun.
No.
Today was a write-off.
Mm-hmm.
I think Euro pairs are really the only legitimate, sensible play. Well, GCAD did, didn't it, for a bit? I'd have made a few options.
Oh wow, it's breaking down now.
It's not a mad one.
Wow, it's crazy. Up and down, up and down.
Yeah,
This week was so far been very bad.
Yeah, difficult.
If you look at that on an hour for the last, I don't know how many hours, it's nuts. It's just done nothing for like a day.
Trading conditions difficult.
Very difficult.
Wow.
That's a mess.
It's funny because we don't see this often, but when we do, I always am reminded that the chat gets all like worried about this, right? Because like we look at this as like, yeah, today we didn't do anything,
Yep.
but it just seems like the world's coming to an end because we can't find a trade.
You have to trade every day. You have to.
Yeah, you have to. You have to find us. We need a trade. And it's like, there's nothing. Like, I mean, I got stopped out on GJ. I made like $1,200 or $1,300. That's it. Like, so far this week, I've taken 2 trades. That's it.
Yeah. We were similar this morning. We have to have so much patience to even get anywhere. And we sit there for ages just chit-chatting away, looking at charts, and it's like, oh, there's something coming. And to be honest, the only trades I've taken this week that have been any good have been sell stops.
Yeah.
Like stop orders. That I've not been able to take a proper market execution.
Yeah, I mean, this is a perfect example of this stream. Just, you're trying to find something, and this is part of trading. You just sit and just wait, and, you know, nothing pops up, then tomorrow you come back. I think that's I mean, sometimes these streams are blessings in disguises, because, you know, you see everybody on social media posting wins every single day, and then we're sitting here struggling. So you sort of have to ask yourself, like, I mean, so is everybody doing something we're not?
Yeah. So I'm quite happy having the thing is, it's like I said, it's part of it. You gotta sometimes sit here for 2-3 hours and think, oh well, yeah, that's the way it is. But you won't complain after yesterday if you get a decent trade, or tomorrow you get one. And
yeah, exactly.
There's no biggie.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I look at. It's like, I'm sorry, you know, you get antsy because you're like, you just want to get a trade under. Like, the biggest thing for me is the beginning of the week, or the first trade under your belt for the week. You know, you just want to get it out of the way. Like, it's the first pitch in a basketball or a baseball game, or your first like soccer kick or something like that. You just want to get it out of the way. And
you want it to be on target as well. That's the thing. You want it to be a good one. That's what I always like to. It gives me that kind of confidence off the bat.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, now you sit back and you're like, then, you know, because there's a lot of times, like, I mean, my trading scaled down a lot. Like, in the last month. The last month, I barely did any trading, really. You know, compared to March. I was talking to somebody about that yesterday. If you traded in March and you had a really good month in March, that should carry you for a couple of months, because March was actually very, very volatile, but it was very, very giving in terms of the reward that you were getting. So you shouldn't be worried right now. Like, anytime you have issues with trading, don't look at today as, you know, like, I took a loss or I didn't find a trade. Go back to your journal last week and see the trades that you won. Go back to your journal last month and see the trades that you've won and the money that you've made, or, you know, things that you've done. I mean, that's the best way to keep perspective. Because like I said, I was talking to somebody yesterday, and I was like, man, this market's really hard this week. Like, there isn't anything that I see. Like, it's just ridiculous. And then it was like, well, you did have a really banner month in March. I'm like, oh yeah. So I went back and looked at my March trades. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty good.
It's all about keep that perspective all the time.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it just takes a couple minutes to free fall. Like, your mind will spiral and say, hey, I'm not doing anything. But just go back to your, like, month of March, go back to your month of April, and then take a look at your trades, and you're like, I did fine. Like, I didn't, you know, I'm okay. Like, it's okay not to be able to take a trade today. And I think that's more of a psychological thing too.
Yeah, that psychological side. I always tend to get that at the start of the month, first 2, 3, 4, 5 days maybe, and I think, oh, you know, I'm not progressing that much this month, you know, on paper, and it's like, well, could I have done better, this, that, and the other.
Right.
And obviously, I'm not risking as much because I've not got anything in because I start from zero in my head from start of the month.
That's right. So do I.
And because I've got nothing to kind of play with in my head, it's like, am I actually progressing that well? And then, like you said, go back and look at the third week of March. It's like, well, I don't really need to make anything this month.
That's right.
And I'm still, well, not this month, but probably 3 weeks. I'll still be.
Yeah, exactly. You can sit back and wait and watch. Like, it's not.
It's always that kind of psychological thing where you think, I've not made as many trades this last week, for sure. And the last week of last month was pretty tough anyway. So it's just like, you know, just keep it in mind. But then it's the same as your week, right? You have a losing day, you're still going to have a half-decent week, no doubt. So.
Yeah, I just think that's what people have to keep in mind is anytime you think you're having a day or, you know, something that's not going your way, I mean, just take a look at your history. I mean, unless you first started out, then it's tough. But I mean, I think at the point you can turn around and
it will come. That will.
Yeah, just, you know, keep your perspective there.
Mm-hmm. Well, look at it the other way. There's a lot of time left this month. You know,
yeah.
There's ages left. Big news events, you know, got NFP next week. Yeah. I know, so this week, isn't it?
It's this week, yeah, NFP. Yeah, that's the other reason why the market's sort of...
Do you know what? This quarantine's got me messed up with dates, you know. I don't even know what day is sometimes. It's like,
Trust me, we're all in the same spot right now.
even that, I'm getting really old real quick.
Nah, I'm waiting to get my hair cut eventually.
Oh, mate, mine's massive. Oh, this is the most hair I've had for about 15 years, you know. I'm quite impressed. I might keep it. Do the whole comb over thing.
Yeah, I just looked and I was like, man, I need to get a haircut.
Yeah, it's getting a bit out of hand now.
What was my trade on GJ? I took a buy from 132.930 and I got stopped out at 132.945. And I had a euro pound trade. I sold at 87.026 to 86.941. So that was a good trade for me. Yeah, so I got 10 pips out of there. Squeaked it out before it reversed.
It might be coming again soon.
Wow, nothing.
Fake out and come back to the range.
I think it's going to be
Yeah.
gulag for sure.
Okay, it's been stuck in the gulag.
Yeah, man.
That's the new thing we're gonna now call it. We're gonna call it the gulag.
Yeah, this is the gulag.
And people who don't know what the gulag is, it's a super secret Forex term.
Yeah.
This is the gulag.
Yeah.
Only those in the know about that one.
Yeah.
Almost got hit here, almost died here, almost got out over here. Back in fighting again.
Second attempt.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
We tried to capture the flag.
Yep.
You know what? I didn't even know you could do that.
Oh yeah.
No, I didn't know. I'm just trying to get the dude. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, you can get. I didn't know you could get the flag too.
Yeah, I went that way yesterday. Yesterday I just laid down next to the flag and dude kept running in circles trying to find me. And then when the
It was-
gulag.
Basically, you were
It was
camping.
funny. Yesterday I was playing Plunder for like 3 hours. And I was like, why is nobody on my team? But then I didn't have the autofill set. So I was just playing. I was on my own every single time I'm going in. I'm like, man, am I this bad of a player that nobody wants to join my team? This is really random. And I was doing pretty good. At one point I had like 600,000 in cash. I was on my own. I just stay on the outer circle away from everybody. I just keep collecting boxes.
Wow.
And then I found the deposit area, like one of the helicopter pads, and I just kept running back there depositing. And then I got a car and I just drove around picking the stuff up. But then I realized, I was like, oh, autofill on. I'm like, oh, there are people. People don't like playing with me because of the fact that I just jump anytime, and then I eventually catch up to them. So what I'll do is I'll jump and I'll do my own thing.
I'll make your own way. Yeah.
And then when I see them getting like attacked, then I'll just jump in the car and I'll go save them.
Hey guys.
Yeah, I show up afterwards and they're like, oh, hey, this guy just collected like 300,000 in cash, and here he is to help us out finally.
Oh, that's just.
I do it all the time. It's there is the TikTok videos with the I need a hero. That's how I feel. I'll go off and do my own thing, and then I see them getting killed, and it's like, I'll save you.
To the rescue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have a bit of a session on that. So there's not going to be an awful lot else to do, I don't think.
Oh, I came in yesterday with the rocket launcher. Oh, there was like a big fight by the cash pad, and I just blew up everybody. I sat from the roof and I just started launching rockets. It's a lot easier than a sniper rifle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Obliterate.
Yeah.
Sound like John McClane.
Yeah. And then I got because I always have the ammunition box as my starter, so I just have to wait for that to load, and I get unlimited ammo basically for the rocket launcher.
Clever. Have you killed anyone yet?
Oh yeah.
Just checking.
Oh yeah. You know what? It's funny because there's a direct correlation between your rank and usually how good you do. I realize that when I'm ranked 76 now, and like I usually am in the top. Like if some guys rank 50 and some guys rank 60, I usually get the most of everything out of our team. And it's really weird how it actually usually works out that way. Like a guy who's ranked like 110 or whatever, he usually cleans up, and I'll finish like second with the team. but
Yeah.
it's really interesting. So my skill level is going up. I just didn't realize, because I keep getting killed, but then I realize I'm like, well, I'm not doing that bad, because there are instances where I am actually killing people.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, at least you're not laying down in fields like some people.
Yeah. I saw that.
That's in stitches. Come and hide here in the middle of a field.
But now I know the map relatively well, so it's, you know, I'm looking to see certain things.
That's one of the big keys, actually.
Yeah, now that I know what to do and where to go exactly, like, you know, the airfield and, you know, the
Yeah.
storage area, I know that those will be where the good weapons are, so I can start loading up and, you know, run around that way.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things with them games. Once you kind of know your way around and stuff.
Yeah.
Jeez, playing games in that range.
Just madness. Just looking on the 15, it's like whatever. What? I think I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to do some emails and I'm going to play Gulag myself, I think.
All right. Take care. Take care.
Yeah, man. Have a good one, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna head off too.
Oh, okay.
Take it easy.
All right.
Go.
Take care.
Awesome, boys. See you in a bit.
See you later, guys.